Welcome to today's practice. So let's start by standing on our mats. We want our feet to be about hip distance apart, toes facing forwards. And we're just going to feel our feet on the ground, center ourselves, take a big breath in, stretch the arms out all the way to the top. As you breathe out, hands down to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling, being aware of the movement in the abdomen and the pelvic floor, relaxed with each breath in, and then slightly drawing in and up with the out breath, holding that contraction. This time as we breathe in, pause at the top. As we exhale, to side bend over to the right, inhaling to the center. Exhaling, taking the side bend to your left. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling, bringing your hands down through the center. As we take our hands, take them behind you, somewhere on the back of your body, so I'll turn sideways. So either on your glutes or a little bit lower down on your upper thighs, not too high on the waist. And we'll just squeeze those elbows together as if those elbows were coming to meet in the middle and pointing behind you. We'll inhale, let the breath rise up in the chest, let the chest move forwards and upwards. As you breathe out, roll the shoulders back and down. Squeeze the elbows in, check that your legs are straight, weight forwards in the balls of the feet. As you inhale, chest moves forwards and up. As you breathe out, shoulders move back and down. If it's okay in your neck, as you next inhale, as the chest lifts, lift your chin, take your head and your gaze back. Inhaling, exhaling, roll your shoulders back and down. One more breath, inhaling, chest lifting, exhaling, shoulders back and down. With the next in-breath, lift your head forwards, lower your chin. As you exhale, body to the upright. Keep your hands where they are and begin to bend the knees. As you bend the knees, allow the bottom to move back. So you'll feel the skin under your hands begin to turn. We move into a quarter and into a half forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release your hands to your hips. Tuck your fingers into your hip creases and just rotate, push your sit bones back. Tip your hips forwards. Inhale, lengthen through the sides of the body. Exhale, abdomen, pelvic floor draws in. Inhale, lengthening from the tailbone to the back of the neck. As you exhale, tip your sit bones back and tip forwards until your body comes to rest on your thighs. Inhale here. And as we exhale, slowly lifting up again. Nice long back, keeping the knees bent, tucking the bottom under. Shoulders come over the hips, and then we straighten our legs, release the hands. Good, roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the hands on the hips. As we take a big inhale here, getting ready to fold forwards again, bend the knees. Let the bottom move back, hinge forwards. Fingers in the hip creases, quarter, half forward fold. Pause here, inhale, lengthen from your waist to your ears. Exhale, really push your hips back. Use your fingers to rotate those hips and then feel that you can go even further forward. So we come into 3/4 forward fold. Release the hands here. Inhale, sweep them forwards. Let the gaze follow. Exhale, swing the hands back. Inhale, sweep the hands forwards, gaze forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, sweep the hands forward, sit back a little more. And then slowly, with a straight back, power through the legs. Rise up, all the way. Lifting the arms, straightening the legs. Hands come together, breathing out. Good. So, inhale, shoulders back and down. Hands on the hips. As we inhale, lengthen the breath. As we exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sit bones back, quarter, half. Pause here. Inhale, lengthen the spine from the tailbone to the back of the neck. Exhale, draw the abdomen, pelvic floor in and up. Use your fingers to tip your hips forwards and come into three-quarter forward fold. Land your ribs on your abdomen. Release your hands. So now a book or a block is useful. So if you've got a block, take it forwards at an angle, reach, and then walk it to the upright. And we can do the same with a book. Let your ears be between the upper arms. Let your fingertips be on the block. So we don't want to see wrists collapse like this. We want to see wrists lifted. So you have length in your arms, a stretch in your armpits. Your tailbone is stretching behind you and your body is on your thighs. Inhale here. Simply keep that body-thigh connection and try and lift your sit bones up, up and up. Keeping the body-thigh connections. As you breathe out, sit back, bend the knees. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling to lift the sit bones, straightening the back of the legs or a little bit straight or a lot straight. Exhale to bend the knees. Inhale to lift the sit bones. Keep your fingers pressing down on top of the block, arms nice and straight. Good. Pause here, breathe in, breathe out. So you should be feeling a lovely stretch in the back of your legs. Your back is nice and long. Stretch all the way down your arm to your fingertips. As we breathe out, stay where you are. Walk your right hand to the center of the block. Release the left hand, bring it to the outside of the right leg. Bend the elbow and just draw yourself through under your right armpit. Inhale here, exhale. And rotating, turning through the chest. Inhale. And as you exhale, return to the center. Replace the left hand where the right hand was. Take your right hand to the outside of the right leg. Bend the elbow to draw yourself down and then under your left armpit. You can have the knees bent a little more if the legs are getting tired, or keep the sit bones lifted. Breathe in, feel yourself drawing down and under your left arm. Use the power in your right arm. With the next in-breath, return to the center, both hands on the block. Bend the knees a little to give yourself a rest. And then with the in-breath, release the hands. Bring them to the floor in front of the block. Walk your fingers a little further forwards. And then from here, try lifting your sit bones up. Try and keep that body-thigh contact. So at no point am I lifting my body away and coming into a U shape. We keep the spine long. We keep the knees bent, we keep the stretch in the arms and the sides of the body. And it may be that you can lift the sit bones just an inch and feel the stretch. As you breathe out, bend the knees. As you bend the knees, walk your hands towards your feet. So we take a little breather here. If you're a beginner, I suggest that you take your hands to the backs of the ankles, tuck your elbows into your thighs, and then bend your elbows. Use your upper arms to draw your body down. Let your head and neck relax. And you can take a breath or two here, lifting the sit bones with the out breath. If you're more experienced, we can take the hands, we can loop the fingers and thumb around the big toe, bend the elbows to draw the body down, and lift the sit bones. Or if you're an advanced practitioner, you might like to place the palms of your hands under your feet and then rock the weight forward so that you're pressing your hands into the floor. There's deep flexion in your wrists, elbows are straight, and as you press your feet into your hands, lift your sit bones. So wherever we are, the next in-breath, bend the knees, release your stretch, lift up a little bit, head and shoulders, reach your arms forwards, and then slowly peel your body away from your thighs, lifting, 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 all the way to the top. Hands together as you breathe out. Okay, so I'm going to show you a variation of doing that. If you don't have a book or a block, you can still practice forward folding using the wall. So what we're going to do is to start off by bringing our hands to shoulder height on the wall, and then you step back so that you've got straight arms, and then as you exhale, begin to bend your knees and then take your bottom back and let your body just come through the upper arm. So here we are in quarter forward fold, and you can practice lifting your sit bones and bending your knees. So the aim is to feel the stretch in the arm, the armpit, and all the way down the sides of the body to the back of the tailbone. So once we have that practice, then we can take it a little further. So we can walk the hands a little lower, and you want the hands to be in line with your hip crease. So about there for me, nice and wide. Again, bend your knees and let your body fold through. So you can see how we've moved from quarter forward fold into half forward fold. Sometimes we need to take our feet a little further back just to feel comfortable. So again, we can stay here and breathe. Let your upper body just hang out. And then lift your sit bones, just straighten the legs, and then bend the knees. So from here we move on to the final stage, which is equivalent to our hands being on the block. So we bring the hands a little lower down, maybe knee height or somewhere in the middle of the shin. So that sort of height is where we want to be. So you can see that now we are in our very deep 3/4 forward fold. Body, thigh makes contact, sit bones point up, back of the spine, and neck is long. So we can take a few breaths here, breathing in, breathing out. And when we're happy, then you can begin to practice lifting the sit bones a couple of inches, and then bending the knee, and lifting a couple of inches and bending the knee. And then finally, we bring our hands to the floor in front of the block. So we're here. Again, feel free to just adjust your feet as necessary. So we are in forward fold with the hands on the floor in front of the block. And then again, same thing, bend the knees, lift the sit bones, bend the knees, lift the sit bones. So there we go, forward fold. And then walk your hands in, and we can take the other variations that we did. Hands behind the ankles, clasping the big toe joints, or palms under the feet. So wherever we are, each time we just practice lengthening the hamstrings and then bending the knees, lifting the sit bones. And remember, when you've done your stretches, always bend the knees to lift up with a lovely long straight back so that we protect the back muscles. Exhaling, hands to heart center. So, having done the forward folds, we've stretched out the back of the body. Now we want to just counterbalance that by stretching out the front of the body. So let's come onto the floor. And as you come onto your back, bend the knees, have the feet on the floor. Have the palms of your hands beside you. And you want to have your feet as close to your buttocks so that you can just touch the backs of your heels. You want to have space between your knees. Your knees are still hip distance apart and your feet are underneath. We're going to look towards just stretching out these quad muscles and the front of the body that we've just worked so hard. So when you're ready, shoulders back and down. Draw the abdomen in and up. Breathe in. Breathe out. With the next in-breath, tuck the tailbone under. So roll your pelvis, press into the feet and lift the hips. So we're just going to peel the back of the body up and you should be feeling a nice stretch here. So we'll move with the breath as we breathe out. We'll slowly release the back down to the floor. We'll inhale, lift up. It's almost as if you're pushing the knees towards the ends of your mat. Squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes, lifting the front hips a little higher. And as we breathe out, lowering slowly back to the mat. And we'll do that one more time. So breathing in to lift up. Press into the feet, tuck the chin in, lift the chest a little higher towards the chin. Palms of the hands are on the floor, pressing into the floor, lift up a little bit higher. And then it's a great place to stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. If all is well, then with the in-breath you can hold that, take your arms up and back. With the out-breath, hold that as you lower your arms back down. With the in-breath, press into the feet, lift up a little higher. Hold that position as you breathe out, lower the arms back down. One more time, in-breath, lifting a little higher, taking the arms back. As you breathe out, lower the arms back down. Once the arms touch down, then slowly release your back body to the floor. And then lift your feet up and hug your knees. As you hug your knees, maybe just have a little roll from side to side on your back. And then we'll bring the feet back down. And this time we'll walk the feet together, we'll bring the knees together. And we'll take the arms out of the way. So as we get ready to breathe out, let the knees roll over to the right. So I'm rolling onto the outer edge of my right foot, and the inner edge of my left foot stays in contact with the inner edge of the right foot. And from here, you might spiral your head towards your left shoulder. Now, if there's any problem with the left hand and the left arm doesn't want to quite stay out to the side, it's fine. You can bend your elbow and bring your fingers to rest on the top of your shoulders. You might just release your left hand all the way back down the side of your mat. We want to keep that left knee on top of the right knee. So sometimes it pulls away like this. We want to encourage that left hip forwards, left knee on top of the right knee, and gaze towards the left. And then take a few breaths here. Find some release, releasing your shoulders, breath in the chest, just allowing the body to rebalance after those deep forward folds. And as you inhale, your head back to the center, drawing your abdomen in to lift the knees back to the center, taking the arms wide again, inhaling, and as you exhaling, rolling your knees to the left. So let your right hip follow, let your right knee follow. Right foot is stacked on top of the left foot. Or we can spiral the gaze over to the right. Right arm extended out. This is a great place to stay if it's not comfortable for you in your shoulders or anywhere else. Simply bend the elbow, bring the fingers towards the shoulder. Or you can release your arm altogether. Or from your starting position, you might like to take that stretch a little deeper by taking your arm up close to your ear. So various places that you can be. And I want you to find a place that feels good, where you can breathe. Breathe without effort. It's where we want to be. Enjoying this release. Thinking about how that forward practice has made us feel. What are we holding on to and what can we release? When you're ready to inhale again, we draw the abdomen in, release that right arm, and then scooping the knees back to the center. And take a few breaths in reclined position, extending your legs away. Maybe letting your toes fall out to the sides, release your shoulders. You can let your hands rest on your abdomen and bring your awareness back to your breath. Let your eyes close. As we close our eyes, we can begin to become more aware of our internal landscape. And because you're at home, you can choose to stay here for as long as you need. If you have to get on with your day, then simply bend your knees and roll over onto one side, using your hands on the floor to lift your body up into an easy cross-legged position so that we can close our practice together. Shoulders back and down, inhaling. As we exhale, bring the palms together, forehead to hands, body to floor, so that we ground and close our practice with grace and gratitude. Namaste.